Hi guys, Kathy here, and I thought today I would do a video on how I do my boxes. I'll show you this little box that I've made here. This one's going to be a Christmas present for my mother, and anyway, got a little heart in there too. But I thought I would show you my method on making these. They're pretty much the same no matter who's doing them, I guess. But I thought I would share with you all. And you could probably do this with air dry clay and even maybe polymer clay as well. But this is a ceramic clay that I'm using. And I found this set of cookie cutters on Amazon. You had like 5 of them in a set. So first I decided how big I wanted to make my box, and I decided on these 3. I've got a large, a medium, and a small. I cut out from my clay, I rolled it out, and I smoothed it out with a rib different ways just to make sure the clay was nice and even and smooth. And I rolled it to the thickness of my sticks here. It's about 1/4 of an inch thick. So once I got that all smoothed out and rolled out, I cut out from the large, I cut out 2, which will serve as the bottom and the main part of the lid. And then I cut out 1 of these smaller ones, and that acts as, it goes underneath the lid one, like so. And then, okay, you got the other one that's the bottom. And then I cut out 4 of these middle ones, and these will serve as the walls. So this morning I went ahead and did that, and I cut them all out. And I also cut out some smaller ones, and I'll show you what I did with those on the lid shortly. But for first of all, what you want to do is let it sit for several hours to, you want it to get to the like almost leather hard stage, but not quite, kind of soft leather hard, enough to where it's going to stand up, right, and it's not going to collapse. So hopefully you can see that. Yeah, you can see that. So once you've got it that hard, I'm using this trimming tool because I don't have like a bevel cutter. Sometimes you can find the little bevel cutters that you can run down the side, but I find this works. I take the straight edge, and on 2 opposing sides, I will go in at a 45-degree angle roughly. I want to make sure kind of which side I'm doing this on. I leave the kind of rougher side face up, and that's going to be the inside of the box. And the more smoother side I leave face down. So you can see I'm kind of turning this on an angle and running it right down a little bit in from the edge, as straight as I can. And then I take this piece, it's kind of a little triangle, and I'll just set it off to the side for now. We're going to use that when we start putting the box together. So on the opposing side, I'll do the same thing. I'll run it right down in a straight line and pull this piece off. It's okay if you're not perfect. And set it to the side. So I've already done that on my other 3 walls. Oops, get that here. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there's my bottom, and I have already kind of put one of my little stamps on the bottom, and then I sign it and I date it later on. But we're going to be building on the inside of the bottom piece. This is my lid, and when I cut my pieces out, that smallest piece I scored and slipped onto the bigger lid piece. So this will kind of serve as my gallery on the inside to keep the lid from jiggling around. And then on the top, I cut out a small rectangle and an even smaller rectangle. And then I used this little, I don't even know if there's a technical term for this, but it's got 2 little like metal balls on the end. I took the really tiny one and I kind of did a groove on the top. Now, my plan for this lid is once it's glazed and fired, this one goes with the other one, but I'm going to mount a gemstone moon on the top of these, and I'm going to use E6000 to put on the top of those. So anyway, that's why I did this lid the way I did. I'm going to put this off to the side for a minute, so it's out of my way. So now we've got our bottom and our 4 walls, and we're going to put them together. So you're going to want like a scoring tool. I've got this little scoring tool here, and I've got some slip right here in a little messy container. I'm going to get a little paper towel too. I'm going to wipe my hands off from time to time. So we've got this, and we've got our little pieces that we've cut off of all the walls. So we're going to be using that. So what we're doing now is we're going to be assembling 4 walls onto our base. So I'm hoping you'll be able to see this. But what you're going to want to do first is kind of get the bottom a little wet, and we're going to kind of see where we're going to place this. And I think here will be good. So that will leave a mark where I want to score and slip that bottom. And this acts as glue to hold your wall together. And then we're just going to go over this again, kind of scratching it up a bit. And then just kind of pushing down gently, wiggling back and forth until it feels like it's gotten a little firm there, and we'll stand up. So you can see a little bit of that slip has, hopefully you can see, maybe not, has kind of squished out the front side. Let me zoom in here. Maybe you can get a better look. Okay, so you see how that slip has come out there. I'm just going to kind of run my finger over that front edge and just kind of clean that up just a little bit on the front side. Okay, so now on the back side, I wish I had better light in here. I don't really have that great a light. I'm in the middle of redoing my craft room, so I'm kind of working off the a little better. I'm working in chaos at the moment. Okay, so on this back side there, I'm going to take my little triangle that I cut off of one of these pieces, and naturally I don't have a little paintbrush. I'm so discombobbled. Well, I'm just going to use my finger, just kind of get this just a tad bit wet. And then what I'm going to do is slip that peak of that triangle into that corner. I'm going to get a little bit more slip there. So we're just going to slide that in. It fits real snugly. And I'm just going to kind of slide it in with my finger, pushing gently while I'm supporting on the other side. Just kind of pushing that in and rubbing it smooth. And then we're going to take my little needle tool here, and I'm just going to kind of cut off this little excess part here and take that out of there because we don't need that little piece. Just kind of smooth that and kind of even this out so it's all angled in like so. All right, so you see we've got the one wall standing up, not hanging up, and it's pretty well supported on the back side. And we're going to kind of go around and do the same thing, except now we've got 2 sides we want to slip and score. The bottom and then the side that's joining this side. And then we also want to slip and score this side. So we'll go ahead and do that. And do this side. And do the bottom. And you can pretty much kind of tell where your bottom's gonna run here. So we're just gonna get a little bit wet there and scrape it a little bit. And we're going to do the same thing, gently pushing down, getting our corners to meet up, like so. Real gentle, you don't want to bend your walls if you can help it. And so on this corner where they've joined, I'm just going to kind of gently pinch them together like that. Just running my hand, trying to squeeze them together as gently as I can. Smoothing my corner. And then just kind of smoothing the outside edge. Now as this dries a little more, you will be able to take a damp sponge and clean up your edges, maybe do a little bit of trimming to get this to smooth out. And that's the part I really kind of enjoy, is once I've got my box put together and it's somewhat dry, doing that fine tuning work. And if it's not perfectly square on the base, you can cut a little bit of this extra away just to make things square up. Okay, so for now, you see we've got these two seams, the one running up and down. Oops. I'm just trying to get just a little bit of slip in there. And then we'll take another one of our little corners and wet it down. This is still pretty moist clay, but just needs a little extra. And then we fit that corner right in there like so. I go through a few paper towels while I'm doing this. And just running your finger up, holding that corner on the outside, and just smoothing as you go. Kind of trying to hit any places you might have nicked up. But we're just reinforcing those corners. I'm going to take that extra off the top and just kind of smooth that out. Like so. And we'll do the same thing on this bottom edge. It gets a little tricky when you get to the last wall, because you've got to go inside the box to do it. But it's not too terrible. So here we go, just supporting on the outside while I push this gently into the corner and smoothing it out. Like so. So you see you've got these nice reinforced edges. I'll take that away. Like so. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish my other two walls. And then I'll bring you back and I'll show you how the lid fits in and if we have to do any fine tuning there. But I'm just going to continue my way around, and when I get to the last wall, I'll show you the end product on the inside. So bear with me just a second while I finish these last two walls. Okay, so I'm on the last part of the inside, last part of putting up the walls. I've scored and slipped these three areas, and I've scored and slipped the corresponding three areas. And so we're going to stand this up, get that slip down in there, right on that edge, kind of put everything together, pushing down gently on my wall. And then I'm going to pinch those corners together and kind of smooth my edges. And don't worry if your tops are a little off kilter from each other. You can trim that up as it dries a little more. Get another paper towel. I like these paper towels you can pull off in like halves or thirds, because you can pull off as little or as much as you need. But I'm just kind of smooth that out and smooth my corner like so. And the edges. And like I said, this will dry, and then you can do more finessing, you know, trimming this up, cleaning it really well with a damp sponge just to get any imperfections out. So now I'm going to use these last 3 pieces, and we're going to gently put them on the inside. I'm trying to arrange this so you can kind of maybe see what I'm doing. It's going to be a little difficult, but I'm going to go up the sides first, and then I'll put a little piece in at the bottom. So I'm going to just get some slip in that corner here. I'm going to wet down my peak again of that little triangle piece and slide it right down in there where it meets up with the bottom. And just using my fingers, kind of feeling my way, because I can't really see it, but I'm just pushing it into the corner really well and just smoothing it out. Good idea to not have on any jewelry while you're doing this, because you will nick the sides up even worse than just with your fingers. Okay, so I'm going to take this little bit off here and just kind of smooth it into the corner like so. Do it on the other side. So I'm going to slip in there, get some slip, not a lot, and dampen that up and slide it down on in there till it gets to the bottom. And then with my longest middle finger there, just smoothing it into the corner. Just massaging it in, smoothing the sides like so, and holding it from the outside, because you don't want to bend it to the outside and have a wall blow out. So basically that's it there. And then I'm going to take, oh, probably this much. So I'll take off that other, and this will go across the bottom. So I'm just going to kind of dab some slip down there. Same thing, and then just flip it over, lay it in there, and tuck it in and smooth it with your finger. Just making sure my edges are fine, the outside's fine. Kind of smoothing the top here. So for now, this is pretty good. And I'll show you closer. You can see the inside where I've put all those little, they're not coils, but the little triangle pieces. And they fit really snugly right in there. I like doing this method more than using actual coils or rolls. Like I said, because it does fit well. So you can also take this little tool and kind of run it up and down on the inside. I do that as well, just kind of along the seams of those. And it smooths them out nicely, like so. Oops. You kind of see what I'm doing. Just like that. Kind of run it around. Just making sure everything is smoothed out on the inside. and that looks pretty good. And then let me bring you back out here. I'm going to show you, and hopefully it fits. So this is the lid, and there's the top that I made. And hopefully this will fit inside of here. If not, I have to do some trimming. And it looks like I have to do some trimming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this same tool and just kind of run it straight along the sides and just remove, that wasn't so straight. I'm going to remove a little bit off of every edge. Once I've done all four, I will try it again. Oops. I need to take a little bit more off of there. It's not quite flush. Okay. One more side. Like so. No, not quite. Let me run it down this way. Oops. All right. So this will of course hit with a sponge and do some trimming on as well. But for now I just want to make sure whether it will fit inside or not. And that is almost there. Almost there. You see these edges are, I think, stopping it. So I'm going to take this and kind of clean off of the corners like so. You see what I'm doing? Probably not. I'm taking it and kind of mirroring the cutout of the corners. And I'm going to take that like that. And like that. I didn't do this with my other ones, but I thought it just kind of came to me. Why don't I try this? And like so. All right, so we'll try this again. Aha, that fits perfect. So you can see our lid is on there really well. But I don't want to leave it there because I don't want them to dry together. So I'm going to let it just firm up a little more. And when I come back to do my final trimming and smoothing with a sponge and everything, then what I'll do is I'll lay a paper towel across this top, and then I'll put the lid on top, so the paper towel's between the two, and I'll let them dry further together. So anyway, for now, that's my box. And the part I really enjoy is doing the finishing work on it. Right before it's dry, I'll come back and then I turn on my music and I just sit here and I clean it up and make it all nice and pretty. So for now, I'm going to put this off to the side. I'll get my tools out of the way, and I'm going to show you a couple of the boxes I've done. So we'll let this stay on this board over here off to the side somewhere. And pick my little bits of clay off the floor. But I'll show you, that box there is going to be a companion box to this one that I just finished. I'll show you the box. It's got a wolf on the front. So there's the inside. And you can see I've got my little stamp and nice initials and the date. So this one is dry, and this is the lid. So this is a larger version, naturally, of the one we just did. But you can see it's got the same gallery piece on the bottom, which I have also stamped, initialed, and dated. And it's got the same little groove on the top, which I am putting this red moon on. That will be really cool. The little box is going to have a tiger eye one. So, but that's that one. So that will be really cool. This is ready to take to the pottery shop and have bisque fired. And then I did this taller box. You can see same thing. This one doesn't have any kind of embellishment on the top of the lid. I may put a cabochon or something on the top. That might be kind of cool. But so I did that one. And then you can go really little. I really enjoy these little ones. So really tiny little box. And here's one that has been glazed. This one's all done. And I put a little bead on the inside just for a little treat. But you can see how that lid just fits on top, and it's got a little handle. And then I did a set of 3 of these. I'll show you 2 of them. But using a texture mat, I rolled the design into the clay first and then cut it out. So all sides have that cool, funky, like a, I don't know, Moroccan tile pattern. And then I did a tiny one as well. Same thing. Really cute. I just love these. They're just adorable. Oh, and then I did the big one here. I'll show you the big one. Here's the big one. So I'll have a set of 3 of those. But they turned out pretty cool. So have fun and try and make them. You can do different sizes or different shapes. This one I did with 6 sides. So you can see, same method. You put your little pieces in there as support all the way around. And there you go. This one's got dragonfly design. So, excuse my muddy fingers. And then this is my favorite one that I finished. So you can see I've glazed it a beautiful green. It's got mountains on it, and on the lid I did the mountains, and then I fashioned a tree stump for the handle. So that turned out pretty cool. So just lots of fun things you can do to make boxes, and they make great gifts or little, like you could put them in your powder room, you could put Q-tips in them, cotton balls, whatever. Not in these little ones, of course, but they would be really cute for, say, oh, baby's first tooth. You know, you could use little boxes like that for many different things. So anyway, that's my method. Hope you kind of enjoyed watching what I do here when pandemics hit. I hope you're all doing well and trying to stay sane in this crazy time of ours. And as I tidy up here, I hope you're all safe, keeping your sanity, and get out there and turn in your ballots, okay? If you live in the States, it's not too late to go vote in person or turn in your ballot. Don't mail it in now, turn it in. So turn it in person. Wear your mask, socially distance, it's okay. And just above all, stay safe. And we'll catch you on the next video. Bye for now.